Hi and welcome back to Writer's Block. I'm Leigh and today I'm going to do a bookshelf tour of the 3 bookcases I own. This is my main one and it mostly has TBR books and special editions. And then there's another one in a spare bedroom that has mostly second-hand books, and then there's one in my wardrobe which is mostly books that I read as a child or books that I recently read.
So I thought this would be a good way for you to get to know my reading tastes. As I said, this is my main bookshelf in my bedroom. This top shelf has mostly classics and George R.R. Martin books. The first book is The Complete Tales of H.P. Lovecraft. This is our naked hardcover with Cthulhu on the cover with golden foil details. The next one isn't actually a book, it's a secret book box that was from Fairy Loot. The next 2 books are volumes 1 and 2 of David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Next is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Fathers and Sons and Elisa by Ivan Turgenev. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is an edition from Nerdy Post. A 100-year-old edition of the Tales of Arabian Nights. A box set of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. All the other books on this shelf are by George R.R. Martin. So first is Wild Cards Volume 1, Tough Voyaging, Nightflies and Other Stories. Nightflies was actually the worst story in this collection. An illustrated edition of Ice Dragon. Fire and Blood, which is also illustrated throughout and on the end pages. And then the Song of Ice and Fire series. The Game of Thrones, A Clash of Kings, A Storm of Swords, Steel and Snow, A Storm of Swords, Blood and Gold, A Feast for Crows, and A Dance with Dragons. This shelf has the majority of the books I've received in subscription boxes. So the first book is A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. It comes with character art and a letter from the author and is signed by the author as well. Criers' War by Nina Varela has a letter from the author. It is a foiled edition that is exclusive. I think the foil in the original is gold instead of silver. It is also signed by the author. An exclusive edition of Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater with a letter from her. In the corner is what the original cover looks like. It has a reversible dust jacket with art by the author. And is signed by her as well. An exclusive edition of The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. The original cover is much darker blue. It came with a letter from the author, a full stamp on the cover, and is signed by Marie Lu. A signed edition of Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, with character art and an author letter on the back, and a matching bookmark. Pride by Ibby Boy. The original cover is blue instead of pink. It came with an author letter and is signed and has character art on the end pages. An exclusive edition of 8 Wolf Ball by Sarah Harrion came with an art print with an author letter on the back. The original cover is in the corner, has a reversible dust jacket, and is signed by the author. An exclusive edition of Woven in Moonlight by Isabella Ibanez has an art print with a letter on the back, has a reversible dust jacket which both sides were done by the author and is signed by her as well. Wicked Fox by Kat Cho has pink sprayed edges with character art and a letter from the author and is signed. You Must Not Miss by Katrina Leno, signed by the author as well. House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. It came with an author letter and a bookmark. This edition, the colours have been deepened and the colour of the title has also been changed. Has a stamped octopus on the cover and octopus end pages as well, and is also signed by her. The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. The original cover is shown on the reverse of the author letter and is also signed in tiny gold pen. Soulkill Girls by Claire Legrand has a letter from the author and is also signed. Forest of Souls by Laurie M. Lee has character art and an author letter. The colours have been changed from the original cover as shown in the corner. It is also signed and has a little foiled spider on the naked cover and a reversible dust jacket. Shielded by Kaylin Flanders. It came with character art and an author letter on the back. The original cover is shown in the corner. It has black sprayed edges, a stamped sigil on the naked cover, and is also signed by the author. Star Daughter by Shweta Thakrar came with character art that has an author letter on the back. The cover is the same as the original, but it has golden sprayed edges, and the author has signed it on the end pages and has a reversible dust jacket. Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tommy Adiemi. The annoying sign sticker won't actually come off, but has bright orange sprayed edges. The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten Wright. The original cover is shown in the corner, has an author letter and a foil stamped cover and is signed by her. The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen has an art print with an author letter on the back, has a really nice map on the end pages, and is signed and has a reversible dust jacket. Kingdom of Souls by ROONEY has an author letter. The original cover is completely different from this book. It has stenciled sprayed edges and is also signed. Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan has an author letter. The original cover is shown here. Not sure if the original cover comes with a creepy lady on spine though. Has a foiled quote on the naked cover and is signed. Sanctuary by V.B. James. It has bright green sprayed edges, along with clear foiled Wiccan symbols around the cover. It is signed by the author and it comes with an author letter that was printed on unnecessarily big paper. On the next shelf, the first book is Passage to Shambhala by John Bird and Kevin Costner. Yes, that Kevin Costner. It is an illustrated on the naked cover and has world maps on the end pages. The book is told by Mixed Media and is printed on sepia paper. Strange the Dreamer by Leigh Taylor. An exclusive edition of Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa came with a letter from the author, original cover is shown in the corner and is signed. Angel Maid by Gareth Nix. Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. The Girl with the Loading Voice by Abby Dare. The Binding by Bridget Collins. Burn by Patrick Ness. The Incendiaries by R. O'Quan. Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon Maguire. What Goes Up by Katie Kennedy. Hazelwood by Marissa Albert. The Astonishing Colour of After by Emily Exaltan. The Storm Runner by J.C. Cervantes. An exclusive edition of Ember and Dust by Lara Celine has an author letter. The original cover is shown in the corner. Has a foil naked cover signed by the author. We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchison. Oro by Hafez Oluwa. Nanny by Z.K. Nelson. Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend. Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. The Black Kids by Christina Hammond Reeves. If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamuga. On the next shelf is pretty much entirely paperbacks. The End and Other Beginnings by Veronica Roth. Beyond the Red by Ava J. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Nevernight by J. Kristoff. Rosewater by Tay Thompson. Samosas by Sue Burke. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. The Ask and Answering by Patrick Ness. This is the 10th anniversary edition. Torch Against the Night by Saba Tahir. Dry by Neil and Jared Strussman. Rebel of the Sands by Elwyn Hamilton. Havenfall by Sarah Holland. Scythe by Neil Schusterman. Kindred by Octavia Butler. The Hidden Life of Trees by Peter Wallenben. The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. An exclusive arc of The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna. This won't come out till February next year. Final is shown in the corner that it won't have the gold foiling or the teal sprayed edges. The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin. The Collected Schizophrenias by Esme Wong. Normal People by Sally Rooney. The Female of the Species by Mindy McGuinness. Folk by Zoe Gilbert. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snake by Susan Collins. One Way by S.J. Morden. Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. It is an autobiographical graphic novel. Want by Cindy Pond. The Body by Bill Bryson. And the last shelf on this bookcase, as you can see, I've kind of run out of room. If It Bleeds by Stephen King. The Institute by Stephen King. Blaze by Stephen King. Flight or Fright by Stephen King and Bear Vincent. This is another fake book from Fairyloot. Spark by Alice Broadway. Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. The Selected Works of Edgar Allan Poe. The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Foe by Ian Reid. An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. The Stand by Stephen King. Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. Thorn by Intitha Kanani. Seven Endless Forests by April Genevieve Colt. Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I'll Give You the Sun by Jenny Nelson. The Bad Beginnings and the Reptile Room by Lemony Snicket. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. We Have Always Lived in a Castle by Shirley Jackson. Rivers of London by Ben Aronovich. Winter Magic by Abby Elphinstone. Linger by Maggie Stiefvater. Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Byron. Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. I also have Princess Bride, I Forgot to Show It. His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. The Classic Science Fiction Collection contains works by all of these authors here. The Loop by Ben Oliver. This is the next bookshelf. It has mostly second-hand books. There's no curtains in this room, so the lighting is very bright. So first I have a few illustrated editions from the Harry Potter series. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Philosopher's Stone. Chamber of Secrets. Prisoner of Azkaban. Goblet of Fire. The 20th anniversary editions of Harry Potter, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, and Goblet of Fire. The Tales of Beedle the Bard. Innocence by Roald Dahl. Slow Regard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss. Labyrinth by Kate Moss. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Neverwald Wake by Marissa Pessel. Ink by Alice Broadway. All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stiefvater. Sweet Girl by Travis Mulhauser. Spinning Silver by Naomi Novak. Once Upon a Rover by Diane Setterfield. Low Chicago by George R.R. Martin. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So the first book on this shelf is Insomnia by Stephen King, then a collection of H.G. Wells works. The Owl I First Believed by Wally Lamb. The Passage by Justin Cronin. Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. A collection of English fairy tales edited by F.A. Steele. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. All the Mowgli Stories by Rudyard Kipling. Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut. Persuasion by Jane Austen. 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Strange Planet by Nathan Pyle. Squirrel Seeks Chipmunks by David Sedaris. Suncatcher by Sheila Grant. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. How To by Randall Monroe. Needful Things by Stephen King. Everything is Illuminated by Jonathan Safran Foer. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Rex. Not Just a Tomboy by Casper J. Baldwin. Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. The last bookshelf is in my wardrobe, so it's a little hard to film. Not all the books here are mine, the rest of them are my sister's, so I'll only be showing the ones that are actually mine. So the first book is actually a uni textbook, which is Art in Renaissance Italy. A bunch of different horrible science magazines. Another uni textbook, The Biology of Plants. And another one, Investigating Disease Patterns. An Arc of Wicked As You Wish by Rin Chipeco, which is also signed by her. Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. Mirage by Samawa Daoud. The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. Why a 5-Year-Old Could Not Have Done That by Susie Hodge. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. Into the Wild by John Krakauer. Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. How to Eat Fried Worms by Thomas Rockwell. Wolf by Gillian Cross. How to Get Fabulously Rich by Thomas Rockwell. Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Cable by Clive Barker. Murder Most Holy by Paul Doherty. Kintu by Jennifer Nasubuga Kabunti. The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kirsten White is signed, and it also has a letter from the author. Eve the Awakening by Jenna Marecki. It is also signed and personalized to me. Everything That's Underneath by Christy DeMeester. It is also signed by the author. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. Unfortunately, the cover's quite worn away. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I Know This Much Is True by Wally Lamb. A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. The Lie Tree by Frances Hardinge. Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. Room by Emma Donoghue. The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells. Foundation by Isaac Asimov. Second Foundation. Foundation's Edge. Foundation and Earth and Prelude to Foundation. Animal Farm by George Orwell. The Nest by Kenneth Opel. It is illustrated throughout as well. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. 1984 by George Orwell. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Stardust by Neil Gaiman. The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. A Purple-Scented Novel by Ian McEwan. A graphic novel of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. This one isn't actually mine, it's my sister's, but I have read it. Bad Jelly the Witch by Spike Milligan. The text is done in the author's own handwriting. On the second to last shelf, the first book is an exclusive edition of We Hunt the Flame by Hafshah Fazel. There is a letter from the author and it's also signed and has one of the nicest maps I've ever seen. Sadie by Courtney Summers. The Deepest Roots by Miranda Acevedo. Grim Lovelies by Megan Shepherd. This Mortal Coil by Emily Savada. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. The Dark Powers of Tolkien by David Day. It has colour illustrations throughout by various artists. Hold Back the Tide by Melinda Salisbury. The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. King of Fools by Amanda Foody. The Bazaar of Bad Dreams by Stephen King. Slay by Brittany Morris. The Weight of a Thousand Feathers by Brian Conaghan. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. 9 Perfect Strangers by Ian Moriarty. Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zuzak. An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. And now the very last shelf. First one is Sandman Overture by Neil Gaiman. And The Ocean Was Our Sky by Patrick Ness. I Hate Fairyland Madly Ever After by Scotty Young. I Hate Fairyland Fluff My Life. I Hate Fairyland Good Girl. I Hate Fairyland Sadly Never After. Rat Queens Volume 1 by Curtis J. Weed. Rat Queens Volume 2. An exclusive edition of Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. It came with character art and an author letter, as well as a deleted chapter, and is signed by her as well. 2 proof copies of my book, The Vanishing Act. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. The Stolen Kingdom by Bethany Atazadeh, and it has a signed book plate as well. All Systems Read by Martha Wells. The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. More Than This by Patrick Ness. An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. It by Stephen King. Hunger Games by Susan Collins. Catching Fire by Susan Collins. And Mockingjay by Susan Collins. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. Life, the Universe and Everything. So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. Mostly Harmless. After I finished filming, I've received 2 other books I haven't yet got a place on the shelves. First is Witchy by Ariel Salamet Reed. It's an exclusive edition of what the original cover is shown in the corner. An exclusive signed edition of Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. The original cover is shown on the back of the author letter. So that was the last of all the books. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.